8 days into the Tokyo Olympics, and COVID-19 cases continue to climb in Japan and in the Olympic Village itself. Let's go live to Adam Hunt, who joins us from Tokyo. Adam, so let's get the less fun stuff out of the way first. The Prime Minister has rejected local media reports that blame the Games for the rise in coronavirus cases. What can you tell us about this?
Yeah, some pretty worrying numbers here in Tokyo, Zhao Young. We have to separate inside the Olympic bubble, as it's been known by the IOC, and what happens outside in the wider Tokyo population. We'll just start inside the bubble. Actually, the numbers don't look too bad. 21 new cases in the last 24-hour period being announced by the IOC, and none of those are athletes, and none of those positive cases came inside the athletes' village here at the Games. So the IOC is saying that it's under control, that they are doing these tests, they're keeping to the protocol, social distancing, mask wearing, and that means that they're keeping the virus under control within the groups of people who are here at the Games. So the athletes competing, the coaches, the media like us, the delegates. It's actually outside the bubble where the numbers are rising, and we're seeing quite worrying figures. Just to give you the latest numbers, 3,300 cases in the last 24-hour period. Not quite as high as we saw the day before, where it was almost 4,000 new cases, but that's causing significant worry for health officials here in Tokyo, and that is why they've extended the so-called state of emergency to a slightly wider area around the city of Tokyo. 3 prefectures have been added now, which immediately border the city of Tokyo, and I think over the next few days, this is going to become more and more of a topic. We saw another protest yesterday, a big protest in the center of the city, protesting against the Games because the people here, 60 to 70%, we're told, according to local polls, do not think that the Games should be happening at the moment, and say that they are irresponsible because of those rising cases.
Well, Adam, what about the Olympic action itself? What's been happening? What's going on today?
Well, we've had some breaking news in the last couple of hours or so concerning the track and field events, which started yesterday in this magnificent Japan National Stadium here behind me. Blessing Okubari, the Nigerian sprinter, we were told this morning, has tested positive for steroids, human growth hormone, from a sample that she gave on July the 19th, and that's sent shockwaves through the sport, really, of 100 meters sprint. She was due to be competing in the women's semi-finals later on today, this evening, here local time in Tokyo. She is potentially one of the contenders for a medal. She is the African record holder over 100 meters in the women's event at the moment, but she has been pulled out. She will not be allowed to compete. So that is a story that has dominated the headlines over the past few hours or so. Looking back through the last 24 hours, it's been plenty of success for China, continuing to win plenty of gold medals. They top the gold medal standings at the moment. Ma Long won the men's singles in the table tennis, beating another Chinese athlete, Fan Zhendong, in the final. So it was a Chinese 1-2 in the men's table tennis, winning gold and silver. Ma Long defending his Olympic title to add to the 3 golds that he won in Rio back in 2016, and he is now imprinting himself firmly as one of the greatest ever to play the game of table tennis. And it also adds gold to the one that Chen Meng won in the women's singles on Thursday. Another great performance in the table tennis here in the Olympics from China. I suppose the biggest upset in the last 24 hours was Novak Djokovic losing in the men's singles in the tennis, and that means now, having lost in 3 sets to Alexander Zverev in the semi-finals, that he will not be able to do the so-called Golden Slam, which means winning all 4 Grand Slams and an Olympic gold in the same year. Remember, he'd won 3 of the 4 Grand Slams prior to coming here to Tokyo. He was hoping to win gold and then also win the US Open in about a month's time to take the Golden Slam. He will not be able to do that. It's only been done once before in tennis history, never on the men's side. It's been done on the women's side, though, by Steffi Graf, the German, a few years ago. There have been some great moments as well in the last 24 hours, none more so than in the rowing for Ireland. Fintan McCarthy and Paul O'Donovan winning their country's first gold at a game since way back in 2012 in the double sculls. It was a very close run thing, though. They had to sweat to win it by just 0.86 seconds from Germany. But most importantly, they walked away with that gold medal. Back to you, Zhao Yong.